We're back with another episode of the huge pop sports football Fridays. This is week 3. This week we're going to be talking again everything NCAA. We're going to be talking everything NFL. So we're going to be making our picks, and we're going to start. We're going to dive right into the college scene. Review of last week. A little bit of a review from last week. I went. I think 6-1 on my picks. I did all right. Scotty Don't went 4-3.
There you go.
A little bit 500 ball there for Scotty doesn't.
Right, Scotty doesn't know shit.
So anyway, so last week we saw Georgia and Clemson. We'll run down those games before we dive into this week's stuff. Georgia, I picked Georgia. I picked Go Dogs like I always do. Clemson didn't do any, they didn't show up. I don't understand what happened there.
Neither do I. That should have been a better game, in my opinion. And I sat there watching it going, what? I mean, yeah. I'm not saying Georgia's not that good, but Clemson, man, they didn't show up at all. No way.
They're definitely not the Clemson team that we are accustomed to seeing. That's for sure.
I wonder sometimes if first week jitters are a real thing, you know?
I mean, we'll get into that here towards the end of last week, what we saw in our picks. Penn State showed how good they really are. They had no issues with West Virginia. None.
Team's going to be dangerous.
And the next game was USC LSU. That was a hell of a great game.
Yeah.
We both picked LSU, but I think USC showed that they are a legitimate contender to win the Big Ten this year.
I got to point out LSU's coach, man. He said exactly how it was. He was pissed, not at the refs, not at nothing except for the performance on the field. You bust your ass all summer long, and then you show up and you get rolled.
But USC looked really good, though. I'm not gonna. You can't deny USC for being who they are. The next one was UNC Minnesota. You rowed the boat over the UNC.
Yeah.
Can't believe you.
Just try to support the Big Ten, man.
And then the Mountain West, UNLV and Houston. We both took Houston. I think we were both kind of on that same. We'd be stupid if we didn't take Houston kind of boat.
Right.
CMU just beat the brakes off of Central Connecticut. That was to be expected. They scored the third most points of the weekend. Because I think someone dropped 72 on the team. I think. And then the game that made me very nervous to be a Michigan fan. I'm still rocking the Block M, but we got some stuff to button up for the weekend for sure.
Or do we?
Fresno State isn't a horrible program.
Right.
But we're not who we were last year. And that's very evident because I think last year's team would have dropped 70 on this team on Fresno.
But look at last year's scores though. Look at last year who they played their first game. They beat them 30-7, right? And then the first 4 games they won like 30-something to 15, 30-something to whatever. I'm not too concerned. The one thing I don't like what they're doing, I'm sure we'll talk about once we get to the game to pick against Texas. I hate, and I've never liked, the dual quarterback situation that they tried last week, because you knew when Orgy came in, you knew Orgy's going to run the ball. So that was, against Texas, you're not going to be able to do that. Against Texas, they're not stupid. They're going to know that when Orgy's in there, 99% of the time, Orgy's going to run the ball for a keeper. But they didn't do bad. In Fresno State, you can't shake you got to give them credit, because they were in, I think they were in a bowl game last year. So it's not that they were a bad team.
Okay, so last year's East Carolina, we beat them 30-3. Beat UNLV 35-7. Bowling Green 31-6. So yeah, it was the year before where we played like East Carolina and dropped 70 on them or something like that.
So no, the team's not as good as it was last year at this moment. Do I think they can be as good? I think they got the pieces to be as good.
We'll get to that when we talk about the games. Did you get a chance to watch the Connor Stallions thing on Netflix?
I did not. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Connor Stallions. I said we were going to talk a little bit about it. I can postpone it another week. That's fine. Okay. Again, I'm the one person now that's in here watching. If you have after you're done with us, throw Netflix on. Find the Netflix Untold Story of Connor Stallions. It's called Sign Stealing. It's an hour and a half. And I suggest watching it. It's a really good watch if you like sports documentaries. So first up, we got the ACC. Well, we're gonna get to that, Dad. I promise. Because I'm in the same boat. The ACC got Georgia Tech. Syracuse is our game of the week from the ACC. See, I gotta look at the spread on that one. That's the one thing I didn't write down. Give me one moment. We're gonna go ACC. And we're going to go Georgia Tech, Syracuse. Georgia Tech is favored by 3 points. They're both undefeated. That game is at 12 o'clock on ACC Network. After watching Georgia Tech do what they did to Florida State, the question still remains, is Florida State bad or is Georgia Tech that good? And the same thing goes with Boston College. I'm taking Georgia Tech.
No, I think Georgia Tech's that good. I'm not sure. Florida State I thought they were better than what they are, but they're not. They're not good. I don't know why. They got all the pieces to be good, but Georgia Tech showed me that Georgia Tech is for real. I'm picking Georgia Tech.
Okay, both of us got Georgia Tech on this one. The next one, we're going to the Big 12. It's a Big 12, Big 10 weekend. We got number 21, Iowa, the Hawkeyes, hosting the unranked Iowa State. Iowa's only favored by 3. This should be a really good game. I love Iowa. Iowa's one of those schools that's hard to root against.
Right.
It's just one of those traditions, the waving to the children at the hospital, the pink visiting locker room, and yes, that's a thing. And that game's at 3:30 tomorrow afternoon on CBS.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the Big Ten here. I think Iowa wins this game just because they're a gritty group of guys.
Yep. I'm going to say the same, man. Iowa. I love Iowa. They're one of those teams that are dangerous no matter what. They could come and play and they could kill you. They could come and play and they don't show up. But I'm going to say they show up this week.
They always play good defense. Always.
I'm going to take Iowa as well.
Next up, we're going to skip over the SEC real quick and go to the Mountain West. The game out there this week is San Jose State and Air Force. I picked that game because it was two undefeated teams, two teams that are 1-1. It's on CBSSN. It's a night game and it's a close spread. Air Force is only favored by 3.5. I'm going to go against the spread on this one. I'm going to pick San Jose State to win. I just have a feeling that they're going to come out and we play. No. Yeah, CMU plays San Jose State in 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I got to go with you. I take San Jose State too. So it looks like we're going to ride and die together, I guess, this week.
This week we are.
I see a couple of games we might disagree with. So.
The next, we're going to go into the SEC now. And no, we'll skip over. We'll go to the Big Ten because we pick a Big Ten team or a game before outside of the Michigan game, and that game is Colorado, Nebraska. Two teams I can't stand. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want to pick the Ohio State game, so I went with Nebraska, Colorado, and I'm gonna pick against the Big Ten, Colorado.
Yeah, man, dude.
They looked solid last week.
They did.
And I hate picking. I hate picking that team because I think they are overhyped.
No.
Travis Hunter is, if he can stay on the field, he's a Heisman candidate, but he needs to show me that he's not like a big ball of Charmin out there and be soft like he was last year. But he's as advertised for the first game. I'm going to go Colorado.
I love Colorado. Deion, man. He's got that college. He's going to turn this college around. They're going to be good. And you got to give it to him. You got to give it to Colorado.
Okay, next up is and by the way, the Colorado big Nebraska game. Nebraska's actually favored because they're at home by 6.5.
Really?
We're both picking against the spread.
Yeah.
That's on 7:30 Saturday night on NBC. So nationally broadcast. It's there for everyone.
Prime time.
And then SEC is next with Tennessee, NC State. Tennessee is 9.5-point favorites on the road at North Carolina State. This one I've gone back and forth with. Do I pick against the spread like I picked against the spread on 3 others of these? I can't. Big Orange is going to win. That team is explosive.
Yep.
That team last week, they played Chattanooga, but they dropped 59 on them.
Go on.
I'm gonna go Tennessee wins that one.
Yeah. Well, Walls.
So now we're into the MAC. We're gonna do the MAC game, the CMU game. They travel. The boys left this morning at 10 o'clock. Well, they started getting on the bus at 10. They didn't leave the facilities until roughly 11:15. they're on their way to Lansing. They got on the plane and they're heading to Florida. The 3:05. They're going to be in Miami this afternoon against FIU. FIU is 0-1 as well. Or they're 0-1. That game is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus. So if you have Hulu, you should be able to watch that game. CMU is favored by 5 points to win that ball game. Now, I'm not picking it because of the spread. I'm picking it because I love the Chips. I think the Chips win. Hopefully, Marion Lukes is able to suit up tomorrow. But I'm gonna definitely pick the Chips to win on the road. Sorry, Pitbull, you're not gonna. Your boys aren't gonna win this week.
I have to go CMU too, man. I'm a Chip fan, so can't root against those guys.
So this next game is without question the game of the week. There's no other game on the docket right now that means more than anything. This is the game of the week. This is number 10 Michigan at home against number 3 Texas. Texas is 7-point favorites in the Big House.
I'm not convinced this is a gynecological concern. Please take Mrs. Bell straight up to the third floor. She'll need an abdominal.
Texas is a legitimate threat to Michigan in this game.
I need to be getting back.
Texas has 2 of the best quarterbacks in the nation. They have Quinn Ewers, and then they have Arch Manning behind him. They're a very good ball team. If Michigan's defense shows up, they can slow Quinn and that Texas offense down. My only concern is quarterback play for Michigan. Like you said a few minutes ago, it's quarterback by committee, and that, to me, in college or pro, that does not work. If we get into that kind of situation again, Texas is going to eat us alive because it's very predictable. Our offense is very predictable right now.
Reminds me of when they did that with Shoelaces. You know, when Shoelace came in, it was a run. You knew it. He wasn't going to pass the ball. And I've never been a fan of a dual quarterback. I never have. Last year, finally, we had JJ as our only quarterback. And I think that kid that started last week, some would say, and some people say on the social media, is that, did Michigan show everything? Did they hold back? They very well could have held back. They very well could have not shown all of what they could do to save it for the Texas game. I think Michigan's smart if they did that. But I think they need to be one quarterback, and they need to pick that kid. What's his name? Warren Davis?
Yeah, Davis. Yeah, Warren Davis.
Yeah.
No, Davis Warren. It's Davis Warren.
Yeah. The kids, and I loved him on his press conference yesterday. He's confident. He's like, okay, yeah, we can do this. And he's confident. He showed he was confident. Because I love Texas. So I love them. They beat Alabama. I think they beat Alabama last year. But they showed me that they're good. They're a good ball club. They're dangerous. I agree, Matt. They are very dangerous. So
now again, I'm not Michigan. I'm going to pick Michigan to win. It's going to be a tight game, and if we do lose, I'm going to say this in rebuttal to any negative comments anyone wants to say. Last year's team, this year's team compared to last year's Michigan national championship game. 14 starters gone out of 22 on both sides of the ball. 3 non-head coaches gone. 1 head coach gone. They all went pro. So over half of your starting lineup is in the pros. And most of your starting lineup this year didn't take very many snaps last year. The game tomorrow is on at noon, I believe. Noon on Fox. Just regular old Fox. It's Fox, Big Ten on Fox. But I'm gonna go Michigan.
For the I think Michigan is better than them. They're better than what they showed up against Fresno State last week. But it reminds you, Fresno State is coming off a bowl year last year, 9-3, I think they were, or something like that. They're no slouch, right? So Michigan showed up, they beat them 30-10. That was probably predicted. Texas, yes, they're a stronger club. Yes, they do have Ewers, I guess is his name.
Yeah,
Ewers, great quarterback. I'm telling you, defense. If we can contain that boy, they're screwed. I think Michigan's defense, that safety, number 2 for Michigan, all day long. And then let's talk about number 20, the running back for Michigan. You got number 20, you got Edwards, number 7. If they can get that running game going downhill, that'll open up a lot for Michigan's quarterback and Loveland. And we got receivers. We got a good team. Yeah, we lost 14 or 18 people, whatever that number is. But Michigan doesn't suck. They have the power. They have the not. I'm doing it. Go blue. I can't root against Michigan. Is it going to be close? Yes. Hopefully it's not by a field goal because I don't know. I'm not too confident about Michigan's kicker. But it's going to be a tight game, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'll be sitting on the edge of my seat.
All right. So we pretty much agreed on every game except was it every game?
Yep.
I think we took the same winners on pretty much every. Yep. That's our college football talk for the week. Tune in next week and see what we have. We're not done. We're going to pick the NFL. We're going to talk a little bit of NFL football. And we're going to give our picks. But tune in next week to see how we did. If I suck as picking, I went 6-1 last week, so maybe 7-0 this week. Who knows? So time to throw on a different hat. Let's talk a little NFL football, shall we? Let's talk about last night's game. We didn't pick it because we didn't. No, we're not done. We're not done, Dad. We're not done. Stick around. We're talking NFL now. But last night's game, we didn't pick it. But I would have picked the Chiefs. I would have. I would have.
And I'll be honest, I would have put Baltimore. I really would have. I can't stand Mahomes. I think he's someone needs to knock his ass out. That guy, he's good though. That's the problem. He's good. And I'm so sorry. Why did we have to see what's her face 17,000 times?
It's
Come
the
on.
day it's the day and age. It's the day we live in, man.
I hate that.
It brings in more viewers. It really does. It's and I hate comparing anything, and I hate comparing my love or not my football to wrestling, but why is Jelly Roll at SummerSlam? You know what I mean? Like why?
Yeah, but that's a one-off, man. This chick, she's at the damn games every single Sunday or whatever.
She's having fun with Travis Kelce. I mean,
yeah, whatever. Oh, whatever.
I mean,
well, move on. I hate that lady.
Wow, Cody.
But no, that was a great game. I watched the game, and let's be honest, the play before the last play, if the quarterback for the Ravens would have been anywhere near closer than 50 feet away, I mean, you can't. That team's gonna be tough. Heel Kevin, man, I love those Ravens, man. I love them, and they should have beat them last night. They lose by a toenail, not even the tip of the toe.
I love the fact what Patrick Mahomes said about it after the game. He's like, well, he should have wore white cleats.
Right, should have.
I mean,
but
he's not wrong.
It was a great game. Nothing bad about that game.
It was a playoff game in week 1.
Absolutely.
So we got a game tonight. It's in Brazil. We got the Packers and the Eagles. Are you able to jot these down on who we were picking?
Yeah.
Keep track of them because I don't have space on my desk. 8:15 on Peacock tonight. Philly is a 2.5-point favorite to win that ball game. In Brazil. That Philly team's dangerous, man. Like that team is very good. Give me Philly.
Philly.
I can't pick that team from Wisconsin. I just can't.
Yeah, I hate that team from Wisconsin too, so it's gonna be hard. But Philly by what's the line? 3?
2.5.
2.5. You're gonna go Philly?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Philly.
You're gonna be underlined. See, I underlined your name. I'm gonna be highlighted. I am gonna go the Pack.
Oh wow!
I hate the Packers, but I think they got it. Okay.
Next up on our first game on Sunday is the Arizona Cardinals traveling to Orchard Park to take on the Bills. That game is on at 1 p.m. on CBS. Cody's Buffalo Bills are 6.5-point favorites in that ball game. They're in the middle of a rebuild. They lost a ton of talent. DeMar Hamlin is going to start on defense for the first time since the incident, where he almost lost his life. So a lot of emotion on that side of the ball, and the Cardinals aren't as they're not a playoff team or anything. So I think the Bills take care of business and they win that ball game.
So Marvin Harrison's on the Bills, right?
Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Yeah. Is he a Bill?
No, he's a Cardinal.
Cardinals, huh? You said Bills?
Yeah, I got to go Bills at home. 6.5-point favorite. Yep. Got to go.
I would love, because let's give credit where credit's due. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a badass. And Kyler Murray, he was supposed to be good. I mean, he's not bad, but I'm gonna take Arizona, man.
Oh wow.
Yep. Marvin, and here's the bold add to it. Marvin Harrison Jr. scored the winning touchdown with 5 seconds left.
Okay. Next up, another 1 o'clock game. We got the Patriots traveling to Cincinnati. Cincinnati's an 8.5-point favorite, and you would be absolutely stupid not to pick the Bengals. The Patriots are at the lowest of lows right now. They might as well just call them the Carolina Patriots because they're just as bad as the Carolina Panthers. Bengals by 2 scores at least.
I agree. Bengals.
Next up, we got another 1 o'clock start. We got the Vikings traveling to the Meadowlands to take on the Giants. Or MetLife Stadium, rather. I'm used to calling it the Meadowlands. Traveling to MetLife Stadium. They're a 1.5-point favorite on the road against the Giants. Give me Jay Jetta and company. I think the Vikings have what it takes to at least take them out. But I'm going to go Vikes.
Vikings all day.
The next game up is go ahead.
I was really, really hoping to see J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings play this year, and sucks, but that team's still good. So you got to pick the Vikes.
Next up, we got the Bears hosting the Titans at 1 o'clock on Sunday. 3.5-point favorites for Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. The Titans are kind of in another kind of a weird spot. They're a good team but they're not good enough to beat a good team. And I hate saying it, but Caleb's going to get his first win of his career on Sunday. They're going to cover the spread. They might win by 10.
Yeah, I take Bears too.
Next up is the bottom of the barrel of the NFC South. You have the Saints hosting the Panthers. The Saints are 4-point favorites on this one. I want to see Carolina go in there and win, but it's just not in the cards, I think. The Saints win. So Louisiana Superdome is going to be rocking.
Yeah, I have to agree with that, Matt.
The next one is going to be it was a hard one for me to pick. 1 o'clock at the Falcons hosting the Steelers. I pick the Steelers quite often to win ball games. I root for the Steelers because it's one of the teams that was always on my TV growing up. Against a very good young Falcons team in Atlanta. Kirk Cousins hopefully can turn that team into a contender. Give me the Falcons. I think the Steelers are kind of on a decline. I think they don't know who their quarterback is. They have Russ and then they have Justin Fields. I don't know. I think Russ, he didn't show very much in Denver. I just think that the Falcons are really, really they're building towards the future. I think the Falcons win.
I'm going to make it. I don't know. I'm going to go with your team, the team that you should have picked. I'm going to go Steelers.
Oh, wow.
Justin Fields, man.
He ain't, from what I understand, he's not starting. It's going to be Russ.
Well, we'll see. That's still Russ. Yeah, Russ is still good.
Next up, we have the two teams from Florida. We got the Miami Dolphins playing host to the Jacksonville Jaguars. That Miami Dolphins team is really good. And they put up a lot of points. And it depends on what Trevor Lawrence shows up. If I'm being completely honest, if Trevor Lawrence, the sunshine Trevor Lawrence shows up, then yeah, they can be a contender and they can really put teams in a bad spot. But they haven't really been doing that lately. Last year was kind of one of those years to be like, seriously, like what's wrong with this team? I don't know how they can. I don't know how they're going to rebound. but it's kind of hard to pick Miami, a team who has a ton of offensive weapons. A kid like Tua with just a massive cannon and two just absolutely speedy guys on the outside with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I'm going Dolphins.
I'm going Dolphins too. I'd be stupid not to.
Next up, we have a 1:00 game on CBS with the Texans going to Indianapolis. That Texans team, like we talked last week, is tremendous. They're talented on both sides of the ball. They're very good, very fast, and very young. The Colts can punch them in the mouth for sure, because they have a lot of weapons as well. I'm going to go Texas, though. I think that Texas has a lot to build on and a lot to prove this year.
I would agree. CJ Stroud's going to go out and have a game of a great opening week game. I picked the Texans as well.
Now we're moving to the 4:00 games. The 4:05 starts. We have Jim Harbaugh in his debut, his home regular season debut with the Chargers, hosting the Raiders, and they are 3-point favorites in that game. I really want to see the Chargers turn it around. Don't really know a lot about this Raiders team because they've shuffled so many guys around. But I'm gonna go Harbaugh gets the job done in his week 1 opener. He's got a really good quarterback in Justin Herbert. I think they can really make waves here. And I'm going to say charge them up, Chargers. Let's go.
That's it. Where's that at?
That's in L.A.
Yeah. I'm going to go with... Gosh, I don't know, man. That's a tough one to do. Yeah, I got to go with the Chargers for sure. Yeah. You said Chargers?
Yeah, I said Chargers. Next up, we have the Seahawks playing host to the Broncos. Seahawks are 6-point favorites. That game's also at 4:00, 4:05. It's one of those games where it's hard to pick. It's hard to pick the Broncos at all because they have so many question marks, right? And no, I'm not going to pick them. I'm going to go Seattle. Safe money there. They're going to cover the spread. That Seattle team is they're good. They're sneaky good. Like there's that team that the fan base knows about them, but not the rest of the league. And then they show up and punch your guys in the mouth, and you're like, oh shit, these guys are good. They're that team. Because believe me, it happened to the Detroit Lions year after year after year. Like, who's Rashawn Petty? Who's Rashawn Penny? Who's this guy? And why is he scoring 4 touchdowns against us?
Right.
I got Seahawks.
For personal reasons, I'll never vote for the Broncos. So.
Don't like the Broncos?
Nope.
Not a John Elway guy?
Nope. Never have.
Next up, we got Cleveland hosting the Cowgirls. Cleveland's got 2.5-point favorite in that game. It's a 4:30 start or 4:25 start in Cleveland. It's an interesting. That game's going to be very interesting. Cleveland Browns have the intangibles to win. Have the capabilities of winning. And they will win. They're going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not saying that because I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I'm saying that because I think Cleveland. That's the only team in Ohio that I'm like, okay, I can be a Cleveland Browns fan. I'm all right with Cleveland.
Right. Yeah, I got to go Cleveland Browns as well. Sorry, JB.
Next up, we have the last of the 425 games. The Washington Commanders going to Tampa to take on the Buccaneers. It's another rookie quarterback getting a start in his first ever start in Washington, in Jaden Daniels. Tampa's the 3.5-point favorite in that ball game. Baker Mayfield coming off of a very good rebound year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Got him to the playoffs. Unfortunately, lost. Fortunately for us, he lost to the Detroit Lions. We'll see how he bounces back from that. I'm going to take the Buccaneers because I don't think Jaden Daniels has the weapons in Washington to take care of business. So I'm going to go Tampa wins.
I agree. Tampa has too many weapons. And, of course, I love their quarterback. So
next up is the Sunday night game. It's our game. It's the Lions opening up the season at home on NBC on Sunday Night Football against the Rams. Detroit is 4.5-point favorites. This is the start of something even more special than we saw last year. I'm not saying we're running the table by any means because I don't think we have our schedule won't allow that to happen. But I will go the Lions to beat the Rams. I think without Aaron Donald on that defensive front, I don't think that they're gonna be able to handle our run offense. They will have to deal with Blake Corum returning punts, though. He's slated to return punts and kickoffs for the Rams on Sunday night. So if you're a Michigan guy, you know. Yeah, give me the Lions. I mean, obviously a home opener after having the season they had last year and returning most of that team. Yeah.
Yeah, the Lions. You got to give it to the Lions. That place is gonna be rocking and rolling. I'm telling you, and why not? They're gonna start something special this year. They'll be back in the playoffs. Lions for sure. Now Blake Corum does scare me because he's damn good.
He's sneaky fast.
But I'm gonna take the Lions.
And then the last game of the week, Monday night. San Francisco welcomes in Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. 8:20 on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN Plus. The Niners have a 4.5-point favorite on that. It is hard to pick against that team right now. That team is really good. They have a lot. They're very explosive. They have Debo. They have Brandon Ayuk. They have George Kittle. They have Brock Purdy, who's playing very good football. Don't know a lot about that defense. Oh, I'm sorry. How can I forget one of the best running backs in the league, Christian McCaffrey? Very good. They're a very talented ball club. I think San Francisco at home, pissed off that they lost in the Super Bowl. They're going to come out and they're going to hammer people. I'm going to take the Niners by at least 2 scores.
You have to, man. You have to take the Niners. I mean, just fun fact. If you're part of the bloodline, right? That was Alpha's team. He was a 49er through and through. Not to say that the 49ers are probably pissed off they lost at the Super Bowl and they're that good. Probably, yeah. Yeah. If you're dumb if you don't pick the 49ers, for sure. Plus, I picked the 49ers.
So
let me see. So we have.
I think we only picked opposite on one game. No, 2 games.
One game. I picked the Packers. You picked the Eagles.
Yep.
I picked the Cardinals. You picked the Bills. I picked the Steelers. You picked the Falcons. So there's 3 games that we disagreed on.
So, in closing, guys, I just want to say thank you again. Oh, and we play tomorrow. Claire, 5th and 6th grade, coached by me, Tony Muzzin, Mr. Jeff Boakes, Mr. Brian White, and Matt Alexander. We play Meridian tomorrow at 3:00. I will more than likely, if you follow me on any social media, be posting the final score of that game, throwing up the W flag. If we can win that ball game, it's going to be a good game. It's supposed to be the toughest opponent we played all year. Supposed to be the toughest team that we play all year, so watch for that. So yeah, it's game week. It's we have walkthroughs tonight to get a little bit more prep work in. So yeah, that's good luck to all the teams from Michigan traveling.
Yep.
Good luck to Michigan State as well. We would like to see little brother succeed.
Who they got this
Eastern.
year? Who they got?
Michigan State plays Maryland on the road, and they're 9.5-point underdogs. The Spartans are.
Okay.
That game's at 3:30 on the Big Ten Network. So,
right. There you go.
But watch us. No way you can't. So, but yeah, go Claire. They play Meridian as well tonight. They're over in Stanford. Hopefully, they can pull off the victory there.
Yep.
Do you have anything? Do you have any plugs for us going forward?
September. On the wrestling note, September 9th, Monday, Rick Allen, legend in WCW, WWF, did some, not legend, I should say, but did some, did some ring work with some guys that made it, I guess. And then Rich Wise is on the 12th. He's an indie guy. Very popular, very good indie guy. And of course, Tuesday night, if you want to listen to 3, 4, possibly 5 guys with their wrestling opinions, and you can handle the I don't know what to, some Tuesdays are good, some Tuesdays aren't so good, but yeah. Anyway, check us out.
So, do you still have the guy for next Friday?
Yes. Yeah, I almost forgot about that. No. Is it Friday? You're talking about
Mr. Godwin.
Oh, Mr. Godwin. Yes. Henry Godwin. Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Henry Godwin will be on the show next Friday. He can't do afternoon. He can do night.
That's a bummer because we are the youth team has been given the opportunity to be on the sideline, kind of with the varsity team on Friday night.
Okay.
So we're going to be there. But
what time are you going to be there till?
Whenever the game's over with.
Okay. Yeah.
So it starts at 7, I think.
So 9 o'clock. It'd be 9. The show starts at 9 o'clock your time. So
okay.
I'll send you the link just in case.
Okay.
But
again, thank you everyone who's going to watch this at a later date. Thank you everyone who stopped in. Of course, thanks Dad for being supporting us through this crazy thing that we do. And we got nothing but love for everybody. And we will see y'all next time.
Absolutely. See you guys.